Greetings and welcome back once again to Campaign Leipzig. Almost messed it up there. But where we left off, we were doing Ney at the Katzbach, and our attack was going fairly well after some disasters early on. So let us see what has happened. Have more Prussians decided to skedaddle? The answer is a big fat nope. Those Cossacks are just working their way round. Over here, however, we had... Oh, that is very good. Caused a big disruption rout over here when we stormed across the river into the flank of a regiment. They be running, boys! They're running! Which is perfect. The fact that I've dislodged him out of these woods. He does naturally have reinforcements back there. So he's naturally responding by moving more battalions to stop me. And more guns by the looks of it. His cavalry looks to be backing off at this point. Which makes sense. It's done its damage. It doesn't need to push any further. In the meantime, with the Russians counter-attacking in places, ooh, might he be doing something sneaky? He might be doing something sneaky in trying to cross the river. Which would be an interesting play, to say the least. He's putting up more skirmishers in the way, naturally. Oof. $24, no effect, no effect. continues to be fairly bloody on my part. So we're going to have to try and fix that. Still, I'm fairly happy. Fairly, he says. The Prussian line is starting to, quote, crumble. Maybe not all at once, but bit by bit it is crumbling. Five men there. 9 men there. Right, the Russians are starting to redeploy. The problem with that is that it looks like they're redeploying with their backs to the woods. Which, if they run, means they are trapped. So yeah, it looks like he's starting to quote fall back. Ooh. More Prussian guns. A lot of Prussian cavalry. Everything from Landwehr to Hussars to Ulan. And again, still an absolute bucket load of Cossacks and Russian cav. Some Russian dragoons. Alrighty. What do these do? That's the question. Probably retire if I was him. Still lots of routed Cossacks. A whole bunch of them. I saw there's at least 300 of them. And a lot of disorders as well, so... Yeah, he's looking to reorganise and quote, not constitute, but basically just reorganise and clear Cossacks from Hussars and such. We've got some guns. Basically placing all of them with the guns. Falling back. Get plinked for the trouble. Plinked again. Alright. Ow. Alright, let's have a look-see. 5 units route. The skirmishers there. Skirmishers down there. what else? 69, 22, and 103, which I believe would be down here. Huh, no. I have no idea then. Still, this is where the, quote, fun begins. But first and foremost, let's kick it off with the artillery. You... Nice! Landed. Fell short, unfortunately. Alright, you are the foot guns. Out of curiosity, what's the losses like at the moment? About 8,500 for me with 6 guns to the 5,000 for him with the near 20 guns. Still a draw though at the moment. I'm not going to do that gun. This gun I will. You are going to blast them. Naples horse artillery. Foot gun. Naples horse artillery. Let's do this horse artillery first. I can either shoot at the cavalry in the back. I can't shoot at them. I can shoot at them. Let us blast them, I think. This battery will hit these landwehr. Hit them. Foot guns. Nice and simples. Did a decent bit of damage. Shoot at them. The Italian horse battery. Get a shot off. Now, here comes the true unbridled pain for this lot. As they get hit by 12, barely close range 12-pounders. That was not really that painful. That was not as painful as I had hoped it would be. So, we'll just keep trying. Yep, they routed straight into my cavalry, of course they did. Ugh. Well, that's really unfortunate. You, I'm going to turn. You, I'm actually still going to shoot, I think. You didn't do a lot, but every little bit helps. Trying to weaken him any little way I can do so. The Baden foot guns. Baden, you are going to shoot at those boys, I think. Horse battery, shoot at that. The Hessian foot guns. Horse artillery. And last but not least, some horse artillery. You are going to limber up, I think, and actually move forward. As will you. Wait, why am I doing that? Blech. I keep doing that. Get carried away with doing stuff. So in this case, skirmishers, get your butts forward. Well, hello there. And start doing your skirmishy stuff. You're not going to do a lot. In fact, you're going to do next to nothing, but... you will slink into there. Slink into that gap and not do anything, but what you did do, for me at least, okay, let's have a look, see, 800 runners there. Problem is, I don't know what is behind. That's my big issue. If I knew what was sitting behind... Second and third battalion of 135th. You can go rejoin your parent battalion, skirmishers. 150th. And second battalion of the 155th. You belong in there. 135th, you go that way because you belong over there. Now, choices-wise, we have two. Really. We've got two big choices, to say the least. One of which is try and go after the Russians, but all things considered, probably not the best idea. Recombine you into your full squadron. I'll come back to this question, I think, for the moment. However, let's do the stuff I need to do with the cavalry. Recombine you. Whoops, wrong squadron. First of the second. Third of the 6th. You belong over here with this lot. Recombine you. Alright. Let us bring you up. And get you ready. Sit behind, unlimber the gun. You fall back there as well. What have you got? 152nd, 151st, 151st. That means that's a mixed conglomeration of 151st and 152nd. And then this brigade has really got two big options. There's over 1,000 Russians there, so... General Blucher. And of course I disordered doing that. Because that's just my luck. Just my luck to disorder there. Again, 5,000 to 8.5. Can I keep this up, though? That's the question, isn't it? Plink, plink. 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 We just be plinking away at places where we can. You are going to fall back because you are just completely beyond useless at this point. Reconstitute you into a full battalion. You can be shot, but it's not going to be so clean a shot. It's not going to, well, it's not going to be an easy quote shot. General Senior, you can send those boys forward. Plink away again. First Battalion of the 22nd. Your horse artillery, your horse artillery. That's not brilliant. So for now, actually, we'll go into those woods. Now over here, what have we got? Well, we're trying to recover these boys. You are all 1st Naples Elite Regiment. You are 2nd Naples. Open fire. I should be fine if I do line and advance to there. Yes, well, sort of. I'm targetable by those guns, but if we look at the terrain, terrain-wise, we're somewhat decent. The first and you and you will rejoin your squadron elements. I continue to try and reconstitute those Italians, despite their losses. Now, the 112. These boys are all detached and still disordered as a result. So the Italians will have a choice to make, I think. Hit them. The Italians will have two choices, really. Hit here, or hit these skirmishers and try and drive them back. The problem with driving those skirmishers back is I'm sort of then vulnerable to being hit by these dragoons that he's got sat back there. What if I do these boys advance, form line, open fire on them, General Seneschal, you are 112. And then the 6th, the elements of the 6th that are about. Gerard will try and rally them. No, I don't really have much choice, do I? It's a case of try and push those skirmishers, which I can't do. In at least this turn, or hit this lot. I suppose 4 battalions hitting them should probably do decently. 700 versus, what, 1800? They will actually rest now for a moment, I think. Unfortunately, this lot routing has really sort of scuppered my plans. Because when they routed in such a way that prevents my heavy cavalry from, well, doing much. What way are you facing? You are facing this way. These boys would charge, hit skirmishers, get blasted, overrun into more skirmishers, get blasted. Yeah, it's not really that good, is it? What's my cavalry losses like? 1600 to his just under 2,000. Not far under 2,000, rather. You're all... You are all sort of facing in the wrong direction anyway. Which prevents you from doing what I would truly want. One hex too far. Figured. Third Battalion of the 25th. I'm thinking, despite the disorder... No, actually. I think I'm going to try and reorder these boys. Quickly. And to do that, I'm going to sort of need to... sit out in the middle of nowhere, but I really doubt he's going to charge, because it would mean being blasted by over 30 guns. So they will fall back and round. They will fall back as well, to basically just get into a position ready to come round again. General Blucher's troops down there. Uh-oh, that's not good. The Argenville could charge, he just doesn't have the range. Now then, the 138th, I could throw... I might actually do it. Send General Giraud's troops forward. The 138th. Because at the moment, he's only got 4 guns really facing me. Which in this case is amazing. You have all rallied. Let's reconstitute you into your battalions. You are... you're in decent shape. Let's have a look-see. Third of the second, come up. You go rejoin them. So yeah, all things considered, these boys are in remarkably good shape. Beyond a couple of battalions. Beyond a couple of my battalions that have taken quite atrocious losses, you are falling back because you're of no use now. Okay, you are sort of stuck in column now. Break you down into skirmisher elements. You are not going to be able to. But in this case, the Hessian Leib Grenadiers out. Ow. And now the Baden troops will also move forward. Ow. So General Marchand, General Murin with his lancers, his chasseurs. So Exelmans and his cavalry will start trying to help push the situation. Very nice, you finally reorganised. So 3rd and 2nd Squadron of the 10th Hussars. And then the 1st and 4th Squadrons of the 10th Hussars will be there. The various Baden Dragoon Squadrons. Whoops, did not mean to do that. So the 4 Squadrons of the Baden Dragoons. The Baden Dragoons will head further down and around. Disordered and routed, so what are you? 9th Hussars. 4th Squadron of the 9th Hussars. 1st Squadron of the 9th Hussars. The various Lancer elements that I have. 5th Hussars. 9th Hussars. 5th Hussars. And then you are 5th Hussars. 5th Hussars. So the 9th Hussars are what? The 12th are really in a bad way, to be fair. As I try and reorganise my cavalry. Now this lot, 20th Chasseur. So here we got General Murin with his brigade of cavalry, which is the 6th Lancers and then the 4th and 7th Hussars. We also have Vautier with his 23rd Chasseur. Why do I keep calling the Chasseurs Hussars? Ugh. 23rd, 24th, 20th Chasseurs, and then the 11th Hussars. I've got Hussars on the brain. Let's commit forward. I think it's time, actually. We will commit forward. General Albert's division will move forward. Ricard's division, for the most part, is, quote, done. It really isn't, but it's going to shift into defense. It's going to shift into reserve, I think. And then the moment that I can, General Ricard is going to... There we go. Where is Sebastiani? Sebastiani... Let's shift Sebastiani to there. Plink at those guns, please. Now, I could send up the cavalry onto the heights, but they'll likely just then get shot by cannons. Which doesn't feel like the best idea. Especially if it would cause a chain rout. What else can we do? You, which is a bunch of 6-pounders. These boys under General Messon. I have 2 real options. Oh yeah, I never came back to this, did I? I think I'm going to just try and reorganise over there. You are done because you're max fatigue, among other things. Second, Naples Elite Regiment. We'll try and rally, put them back together somewhat. Well, back together as much as possibly can be put back together. The Italians. General Chassereau. Yeah, I think this is my worst hit battalion, 3rd Battalion of the 16th Léger. And the reason for that is it lost a lot of its skirmishers being run down to Prussian cav. Otherwise, I think for the most part, my units are fairly, quote, okay. The 145th. You are also going to fall back. The 145th. Ah, yes, there. There's the other chunk of the 145th. Let us reposition. I suppose if I face them this way, well, he will have to turn his guns to face this way. I could potentially hit them in the side. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then this brigade will, quote, face this direction. So if need be, they can charge this way. Now, next turn I will naturally move up the battery here. I'll start getting it moved forward more and more. Just to try and make sure I blast as much of the Russian line as possible. Now here, we'll do 2 things. We'll go into the woods here with the battalion. They will go there. They will stay there. So if these 2,000 Russians want to counterattack, they'll have to do so fairly hard to ensure that they can kick me out. Now, this brigade, the one which contains the 153rd and the 154th, considering Loriston was mostly meant to be a distraction, I think he's definitely done that. He's definitely succeeded the whole "we are a distraction" part, but the question is, okay, what? Okay, it's the building that's blocking the line of sight. If we look, yeah, you're not facing, but if you were facing, yeah, the building. Which means these howitzers are less than ideally placed, but you fire indirectly anyway. Now, the 1/12 here is going to try and reorganise. Get plinked. Now, go there. Yeah, naturally can't push the skirmishers. Let's force him to face... Ooh. I'll turn one battalion to face that direction. So when they're coming in, I've got at least a little protection off to each side. Depending on what he does to respond to this. That's not what I wanted, nor was that. Still, it's a case of, can I break what's left of his position? That's the question, isn't it? That's the question. I could break it into 2 battalions pushing one, 2 battalions pushing another. That might be actually more advantageous. Try and open up a bigger gap. So I think I will. So 2 of the battalions will push these skirmishers, 2 of the battalions will push these skirmishers. So this lot, however, will just continue to be doing whatever. You plink at them. So let's see what else we got. They're all routed or disordered. So he's got what, about 700 dragoons there. It's a lot of cavalry up there, mostly hussars, and they're facing to charge that direction. So they would charge up here and look to hit them. Well, I think that's that for now. It's been... actually, not quite. I want to blink 2 men. Again, all things considered, considering I've been forced to attack pretty frontally into a lot of Allied artillery, I would say I'm not doing all that bad. So let's push into the melee, at which point General Zatucci and his the third and the the first and the third battalion will push into that hex, driving off the skirmishers. I will naturally get plinked a bit. And then 6 men there. 10, 21, 23, 24, and that into there. I lost just a bunch of men for no return, but I did just force those skirmishers back, which now sees me sitting right in front of the Prussian position. Now, other melees I can do. One would be there. Sort of drives them back into my line, which is not exactly brilliant. Advantage defender. So yeah, my Italians are not in the nicest of positions, but they should hopefully be able to do something about it. I could hit the 22nd Jaeger here, but it's not gonna be worth it because 1, it'll drag me closer to them, and 2, it'll drag me out of these woods. I might as well keep the advantage of the woods for now. Over here we got the Bardens. I still think, while it would definitely be a Pyrrhic victory, it might be a victory if I can keep this up. So again, what is it? 5,100, about that, to my 8,000. No, 7,700. Yeah, 7,700. No, 8,700, sorry. 8,700 odd casualties for me. Well, I know what it is precisely. It's 8,766, but that's being pedantic. Here we have, what? 5,100 roughly. Maybe 5,200. Matter of fact, that is hilarious because it is 5,200 precisely, because if I include that leader, oh, that is hilarious. So 5,200 versus 8,766. Pretty... While I've lost a hell of a lot more men, it was to be expected, being with all this damn Allied artillery. Still, for now, the fighting is not yet over. So we still got opportunities to do stuff. Especially if I can plink away at places. I can see why he chose this spot to defend. It's a very nice spot, all things considered. So, for now, let's push on to the next turn. So, I thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But until next time, this has been yet another part of Ney at the Katzbach. And I will see you all very soon. So until then, bye-bye for now. So, I will see you all. Cheerio.